Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about agriculture versus industry and which is more important. The article was about a little competition between agriculture and industrial sectors and which one gets more importance. But as you can see, this is a controversy around the world. In the actuality, we have many problems which are taking place in the top list for debate, and one of this is agriculture versus industry. Everyone knows that without agriculture, a country cannot exist. Obviously, this is entirely related. And in this video, I'm going to explain why and the advantages and disadvantages that this decision can have in a country. If we think a little bit better, the similarities between these two are even more closer than we can thought. In general terms, they are very different according with National Geographic. Agriculture is the science of practice of farming. These terms include cultivation of the soil for the growing of the crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool and other products for our society, and also, as I said before, domestic animals. An industry, according with the International Standard Industrial Classification, is the manufacturing or technologically productive enterprises in a particular field, country, region, or economy viewed collectively. So, broadly speaking, they are very different, but if we think a little bit more, as the article said, they are like two wheels of a bicycle or like two faces of a coin. One cannot survive with another. So it's essential for a country to have both agricultural as well as industry. Both are very important. In the first place, I'm the person that comes from a country that particularly only lives with industry because the percent of agriculture is very low as well as industry. And the few agriculture that we have are crops that are sown just with the final purpose of having an industrial process. An example of that, as the Department of Economics and the Ministry of Environment in El Salvador, registry is coffee, cotton, and sugarcane. So you may ask yourself, if they don't have agriculture, where do they get their food? And shortly, in explanation, El Salvador buy all their food from their neighbors, as well as Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and other for South America and North America. Well, the pros and cons to be industry, the main sustain for a country is, starting with the cons, I can say that it's totally sustainable because every country wants industrial products as well as profitable than agriculture. But what happens if we have a food crisis? The entire country will be on broke and the food will turn expensive than normal days, and more people will not be able to buy that food, and poor levels will increase in an alarming way. But this is just will be in extreme cases. And for the other article that I searched related to this topic is agriculture versus industry, and which is more important. And this article has the same topic than the other, and also is related with India, posted by Prakash in January 3rd, 2016. This article refers to the main point of contrast between agriculture and manufacturing industries in that thought. Both are amenable to large-scale production. The scope of such operation is very much smaller in agriculture than in manufacture. And the conclusion for the author in this article was, agriculture is the mainstay of India's prosperity. Agriculture, no doubt, has always been the most important factor for Indian economy. However, at the same time, the importance of industry and manufacturing units in shaping the future economy of India cannot be denied. This another has a different point of view if we compare both articles because he or she thinks that industry is more important for the economy of a country and the other one refers to the importance and balance of both for a country. Then for the second article that I read, for this is industrialization versus agriculture. The old age debate, which is was this was written by Shiraj Ghosh and was posted on May 9th of 2011. And the main idea of the article, as the other one is industrialization, is considered to be one of the indicators of development of a country. But in this case, the author is more specific about their point of view and use a couple of statistics to explain it. India's industrial growth was recorded in 2010 at 60.8%, highest in 20 years. Thus, it has a major contribution to India's economic growth rate in 2010 and 2011, which is measured at about an impressive 8.6%. The rate of investment in India has been found to have exceeded 36% of the country's GDP, and this has happened because India is making progress in the industrial sector by leaps and bounds. Thus, once realized the importance of industry to sustain a country's economic and stabilize it as well as strengthen the present government. Throughout the years, much preparation runs in the background to ensure that the country has an industrial output to boast about the end of the fiscal year. But in their attempts to expand industries at a manic pace, the government seems to have forgotten the reality or otherwise that about 80% of our population is dependent of agriculture for their livelihood. Recent figures have shown that India's agriculture growth rate in 2010 was a mere 5%. That means, unlike the industrial sector, and the agriculture sector cannot satisfy the current market demand as the government is keener to improve only industries. But in the end of the article, the author finished with a reflective quote that said, "But it forgets that these farmers are also a part of this population, and their need cannot be overlooked in the name of a great good. Loss of agricultural land might lead to food inflation, which is rampant in many industrial developing countries." For my conclusion, my stand for defense is the article, and this article is that both are equally important. Industry is much more dependent from agriculture, and agriculture probably can succeed allowed a few decades back. But in the actuality, agriculture needs for a process is in industry, no matter its minimum. But they really need each other for make an ideal balance. In the process chain of production, a country should have both. Thank you for your attention. I hope you like this video. See you next time. Bye.